AI is transforming the way we approach everyday tasks, in work and in life. Using AI can help you get routine things done more quickly and empower you to spend more time in places where you can have the most impact. Think about your typical day at work. If it's anything like mine, you have a lot of things and not enough time. Some days, your to-do list might seem never-ending, but what if AI could help? As a fellow IT professional, I'm here to share a few situations you may encounter where AI can help you work smarter and faster. You'll discover how to use AI to help troubleshoot issues, provide even better customer service, and more. My name is Natalia, and I'm an IT support engineer on the Tech Sub team at Google. In my job, I provide technical support for Google employees all around the world. I troubleshoot systems, products, and services, and I identify and solve technology problems. Generative AI helps me work efficiently and creatively, so I'm excited to share how I'm using it. To get the most out of AI, it's important to write an effective prompt. A prompt is the input you provide the AI model to elicit a specific response. A good prompt follows a simple framework: task, context, references, evaluate, and iterate, or TCR-EI. If you ever forget a step, just remember, thoughtfully create really excellent inputs. First is task. What do you want the model to do? Fairly simple and straightforward, right? We can break task into persona and format. Persona refers to what expertise you want the generative AI tool to draw from. You can ask the tool to take on a persona, like a professional speechwriter or a marketing executive with 15 years of experience. Or you can ask it to create output for a specific audience, like a customer or your manager. You can be as detailed as you like when adding a persona to your task. Format refers to how you want the output to appear, whether that's a bulleted list, a short sentence, or a table. And keep in mind, the task should be clear and specific about what you want the model to do. Next, you'll include context. These are the necessary details to help the Gen AI tool understand what you need from it. This is the difference between writing, "Give me some ideas for a birthday present under $30," and "Give me 5 ideas for a birthday present. My budget is $30. The gift is for a 29-year-old who loves winter sports and has recently switched from snowboarding to skiing." Third, sometimes you'll add references for the Gen AI tool to use while creating its output. You just ask a Gen AI tool to give you ideas for a birthday present, right? Well, if you add examples of birthday presents you've given in the past as references, then the Gen AI tool can give you a more useful output. Keep in mind, there aren't always going to be clear references of what you need, especially if you're working on something more abstract or searching for ideas and inspiration. Prompting is all about being clear and specific in your instructions. Use natural language, write as if you're speaking to another person, and express complete thoughts. Okay, so you've included the task, context, and references in your prompt. Once you have the output, it's time to evaluate. Ask yourself if the input you provided gave you the output you needed. This leads us to the final part of the framework: iterate. If you evaluate your output and determine that you're not getting what you needed, you can try again by adding more information or editing your prompt. Iterating is a key part of prompting effectively. One more note on the framework: there are plenty of ways to construct an effective prompt. The order of how you construct a prompt is less important than the substance of the prompt itself. As long as you're thoughtfully creating really excellent inputs, your outputs should be great. As we explore how to use AI as an IT professional, keep in mind that AI works best when used as a complement to our uniquely human skills and abilities. You should always use AI responsibly by applying a human-in-the-loop approach. AI is a useful tool to help you accomplish tasks, but it requires human involvement. No AI tool has the depth of experience, practical knowledge, and interactive skills that we do. That's why a human-in-the-loop approach is key to using AI responsibly. It combines machine and human intelligence to train, use, verify, and refine AI results. In practical terms, this means being mindful of what you put into an AI tool and always evaluating and verifying what comes out. When you work with AI tools, carefully consider if you need to use confidential or sensitive information to perform your task. And always consult your organization's rules or policies first. Even when you're using AI tools outside of work, you should avoid entering personal or confidential information. And always check how the data you enter might be used. One last thing, there are a lot of Gen AI tools out there. I'm going to demonstrate how to prompt using Gemini. But all of the techniques and best practices you learn can be applied to other Gen AI tools like ChatGPT, Copilot, and Claude. What truly excites me about working in IT is being able to help people, solve complex problems, and empower users to be more productive. But let's face it, dealing with repetitive requests can take up a lot of our time. AI tools can help free up IT professionals to focus on higher level initiatives. This shifts us from reactive firefighting to proactive problem solving, allowing us to focus on the people we're meant to support and delivering greater value to the entire organization. So, without further ado, let's get started. What's one thing that most IT professionals do each and every day? That's right, I'm talking about troubleshooting. We make sure machines and networks are running smoothly. But when they aren't, we need to find the root causes. And that's a process that has to be systematic, involving a lot of trial and error. If you've had any experience with this so far, you know how time-consuming it can be. If we can troubleshoot faster, we can provide better support. In my job, I often receive log data from systems or applications that I'm troubleshooting. One task that can be especially tedious is examining the error codes and data they provide. Computer logs can be a great resource to learn what went wrong and how to fix it, but they can contain large amounts of data with technical details, codes, and specialized jargon. Understanding and interpreting all of this information can be challenging, and manual log analysis can be slow-going. In the meantime, that means downtime for clients. And while clients wait, they might not be able to use a particular application, which could affect their productivity. Gen AI tools can help you troubleshoot more efficiently, help identify which logs to review, and help sift through massive amounts of log data to pinpoint anomalies and errors that might be difficult for a human to detect. Gen AI tools can also identify and prioritize relevant events or errors based on severity and impact. This can speed up root cause analysis and help quickly identify the source of the problems. Imagine having a virtual helper scanning through logs for every detail and breaking down the information into an easy-to-follow summary. Let me share an example of how I recently used AI for troubleshooting here at Google. A user, along with 6 of their colleagues, experienced intermittent Wi-Fi outages. They couldn't identify the root cause, and the team's productivity was being affected. I asked them to run some commands to gather logs and data from their machines the next time they had a network issue. I used Gemini to go through the logs and get a better understanding of what was going on. I enter a prompt like this. A user is experiencing intermittent connectivity issues while connected to Wi-Fi. These are the details they get when running wdutil info command. What can this tell us about their issue? This helps Gemini know what it should focus on, which is any errors that can tell us more about the connectivity issue. Then, I added the relevant part of the logs. I copied and pasted these logs on a note and removed any identifiable information, like the customer's Wi-Fi network name. And there we go. Gemini pointed out the transmission rate of 8.0 megabits per second was too low for Wi-Fi 6. This is insightful because I might have overlooked that fact given that the RSSI signal strength was relatively strong and there wasn't much noise interference. Not only did it flag the transmission rate as an issue, but it also noted the distance from the router as a probable cause in its response. While this is very helpful, we need to be responsible with how we use AI. So I made sure to validate Gemini's analysis and conduct my own research on the transmission rate. I also asked the networking team to generate a heat map of the area where the user and their colleagues were seated. I discovered that they were sitting in a corner of the building, with the closest Wi-Fi access points, or APs, being far away, just as Gemini had suggested. To address the issue, the networking team deployed a new AP to improve the coverage in that area. If you use AI to help you with troubleshooting, make sure you include specific context, such as the operating system, approximate time the issue occurred, and the symptoms of the problem, along with the logs when you write your prompt. Don't forget to remove any confidential data from the logs, and verify the results by doing your own research on the answers provided by an AI tool. Now that you have an idea of how AI can help you with troubleshooting, try it out for yourself. Most IT support professionals experience this at some point. You find the perfect solution for a user, but the user doesn't understand the details or how to implement it. That's why clear communication is crucial in IT support, but it's not always easy. Customer care is all about resolving customers' issues to their satisfaction, which means conveying complex technical terminology or instructions to a non-technical audience. And let's not forget that when users are having technical problems, they might already be feeling frustrated or anxious. I use AI to help simplify and improve my communications with clients. Gen AI tools can generate clear guidance and instructions that are easier for clients to understand. You can use a Gen AI tool like Gemini to help rewrite and change the tone of a response, or to simplify technical jargon. Here's a recent example. I was helping a user with a Windows device that was experiencing network connectivity issues, and I could tell that the user lacked technical expertise. I needed them to execute specific network troubleshooting commands to help reset their network configurations. I used the following prompt in Gemini. I'm an IT support technician helping a user who is not familiar with using command line on Windows. Help me explain to the user in an easy-to-follow, step-by-step format that they need to run the following commands. And I'll just paste this in. Now let's check out Gemini's response. It's a user-friendly, easy-to-follow guide that aims to help the client feel comfortable throughout the process. Communicating with the client in a language they can understand will help you to prevent any misunderstandings. As always, remember to verify the response and tweak it to match your communication style, or add your own grading before sending it to the client. If you're communicating with a user via chat and the suggested response from an AI tool is too long, you can always ask the AI tool to revise it with prompts such as shorten this, or you can specify more about the format you want the output to be in. You can also ask to make the response more casual or more formal to match the user's tone. Using AI in your daily client communication can help you get your message across and be more productive. And clients really appreciate clear, direct communication, so they'll love working with you even more. Think about a daily task that involves repetitive steps, like making coffee in the morning. Making coffee involves putting water in the coffee maker, adding coffee, letting it brew, pouring it into a cup, and maybe adding some cream and sugar. Now, imagine if as soon as you woke up, your coffee machine could start making coffee exactly the way you like it, all by itself. This would save a lot of time in the morning. In IT support, we're doing tasks that repeat the same steps over and over, like how you always make your coffee, and are triggered by the same events, like waking up in the morning. This is where automation comes in. You can use computer scripts as a recipe or a set of instructions that a computer can follow to automate some of these tasks. And this frees up your time for other things. Although they're useful, writing computer scripts to automate these tasks properly can take time and know-how. Where do you even start? AI can help. And GenAI tools can understand natural language instructions, which means that we can describe the desired outcome in our own language rather than having to write code from scratch. Let's go through an example to bring this to life. A machine has files that need to be backed up in case there's a drive failure or other issue, but manually backing them up takes a long time. A GenAI tool like Gemini can help you automate this. We can start by writing a prompt like this. I'm a tech support specialist. Help me identify key components of a script to automate data backup and recovery processes. Remember the prompt framework, TCREI? This is where we're going to put the E, or evaluate, into action. Gemini gives us some general guidance on where to start with the script, including requirements, basic structure, enhancements, and important considerations. GenAI tools like Gemini will usually break down the reasoning behind the scripts it creates, and even display its sources. Take advantage of this to better understand the script. One great thing with GenAI tools is that you can customize your prompt and add more parameters and details to the script to fit your needs. This is where the I from our framework comes in. I can iterate on my prompt to get the most accurate and useful results, and to find out if I can't get other responses that I prefer. As a reminder, iteration is the process of refining and improving your AI prompts and outputs through repeated cycles of testing and adjustment. Here are a few tips you can keep in mind. When you evaluate your prompt, did you find any areas where the output didn't align to your expectations? If so, there may be opportunities to provide the AI tool with more specific guidance about what you need. Remember, an AI tool can only provide results based on what you tell it to do. So make sure your prompt has enough detail to get a useful response. Or think back to the R in our prompting framework, references. Can you share an example of what you were expecting? Providing examples in your prompts can help the AI tool understand what you want. If you're hoping to find a specific format or type of analysis, show the AI tool an example. Another thing you can do is check your phrasing. Were you as clear as possible? Try breaking your instructions into shorter sentences. This can help you improve the output the next time. Are there parts of the output that you did like? For example, imagine the AI tool gave you 5 ideas for a brainstorm and you liked 2 of them. In your next prompt, explain why you liked those 2. and ask the AI tool to provide a new list of ideas based on your reasoning. You could even point out why you didn't like the other 3 ideas and ask the tool to take that into account for the next time around too. So, how could you iterate in this particular scenario? You could, for example, follow up this prompt with more information describing how this is a script for a Linux computer where the home directory should be backed up to a network share. As I mentioned earlier, you don't have to start with code. You can simply provide instructions to let the GenAI tool create the code for you. It can take you through the process of creating the script and answer any questions you might have. Although AI-generated scripts can be less prone to having incorrect commands or syntax than manually created scripts, they should always be tested first. Each environment works differently, so you might have to adjust certain parts of your script to make it work to fit your needs. The script might also contain errors or bugs, so it's best to set up a testing environment where you can safely run and test it. Not everything can or should be automated, but if it's something that's repetitive, that's a sign it might be a good place to implement a script. You can analyze common issues and tickets you receive too. I hope these tips spark some ideas for how you can use AI to streamline operations and deliver better support experiences. Start experimenting. Have you ever faced a task you know you've done in the past and wish you've taken down some notes on how you did it then? I've been there. In IT support, good documentation can help you work smarter and faster. Speed is crucial since metrics like time to resolution or TTR are measured for each interaction. Repeatedly encountering a known issue without documented resolution impacts these metrics because technicians like us will have to solve the problem from scratch each time. This can negatively affect user experience and lead to prolonged issue resolution time and a lot of back and forth communication. Good user-facing documentation is important too. It can help users resolve common issues, which can significantly reduce the volume of support requests and minimize the time it takes for technicians to resolve issues. But creating comprehensive guides is time-consuming and may not address diverse user needs, such as language barriers. As you might have guessed, AI tools can help by generating documentation for new processes, summarizing complex technical information, and even suggesting relevant articles or solutions. I'm going to show you how. For this example, imagine our team supports Chrome OS devices, like Chromebooks, but we don't have any documentation to track the common issues we run into. We can enter a prompt like this. I'm an IT technician helping my colleagues experiencing issues with Chrome OS. Create documentation for each of the 4 common issues identified below, and include detailed step-by-step troubleshooting recommendations. The top 4 reported issues experienced include slow performance, battery life issues, extension conflicts, and crashing/freezing. Here's a pro tip. Up until now, we've been typing prompts into Gemini. If you don't want to type, you can also activate the microphone feature. This lets you quickly add more information, start a new prompt, or iterate on an existing prompt, all using your voice. For example, I could use the microphone feature to speak this prompt to Gemini rather than typing it out. And voila! Gemini generates a comprehensive guide covering the 4 common issues, each with potential causes and troubleshooting steps provided. It also adds some important tips, like making sure you do a data backup before any big troubleshooting steps. Before sharing or using this documentation, we need to verify that it's factual and relevant to our processes and needs, using the human-in-the-loop approach we discussed earlier. You can also use GenAI tools to update or expand on current documentation to keep it relevant. For example, if an application's interface changed recently, AI can help update the outdated document to reflect the changes. Be sure to specify who your users are, as the level of technical details needed will change accordingly. It's different if you have a user reading an article on how to update an application versus documentation meant for a software engineer on how to connect to a database to get the latest package for an application. Images can also make your documentation more understandable and engaging. There are multiple image generation tools you can try. You can write prompts like the ones we've discussed. You'll get an image as an output instead of text. Now that I've shared my process, maybe there's some documentation creation on your to-do list, and you've been waiting for a quiet moment to finish it up. Take this opportunity to play and experiment with prompts to get this done more quickly, and to figure out how to get results that are useful for you. Getting the output you want can be a journey sometimes, and the only way to get there is to get comfortable, explore, and learn what path works for you. IT support professionals are on the front lines when it comes to security for our organizations. Managing encryption on endpoints, dealing with phishing attacks, securing data and company assets, responding to and mitigating security risks, all while making sure systems are running. It's a lot. And overlooking security can be very risky. AI can help speed up the knowledge and decision-making by providing guidance, templates, and suggestions on dealing with IT security. It can effectively assess and prioritize vulnerabilities within an IT infrastructure. By creating trainings and phishing simulations, GenAI tools can help educate users on common security risks and best practices. A general tip for using AI when it comes to IT security is to use the tool to generate general assessments or templates for risk evaluation. Then tailor them to your specific needs. This will help you understand the current security risks and identify areas that need reinforcement. Then you can take corrective actions like adding encryption or host-based intrusion detection systems, or restricting access to certain physical areas like server rooms. Let's check out a prompt like this. I'm a tech support specialist working to evaluate my company's IT infrastructure for potential vulnerabilities, prioritized based on criticality and likelihood of exploitation. Help me brainstorm 2 templates for different risk matrix formats. And just like that, we have 2 risk matrix templates designed to evaluate a company's IT infrastructure vulnerabilities. Remember, with prompts, the more detail, the better. So be specific with security terms when you're writing your prompt to give the AI tool the right context. For example, in this prompt, we noted who we are, a tech support specialist. Our goal, evaluate my company's IT infrastructure for potential vulnerabilities, and what specific IT security template we needed, risk matrix formats. Finally, it's important to verify or build on AI-generated answers. AI is a complementary tool for IT security, but don't rely solely on it, especially for sensitive security configurations on firewalls or setups. With the human-in-the-loop approach, you'll always want to do your own research to verify information. Use the templates AI provides as a base to build your risk assessments on, but tailor them to your own needs. As IT support professionals, we play a major role in keeping our data and systems safe. I found that AI tools can help us be more vigilant, resilient, and prepared. Just like any new technology, we all need to try, test, and play in order to learn how to use AI. I really enjoy being able to share some of the ways I'm using AI in my work as an IT support professional, from helping to troubleshoot issues to providing even better customer care. I hope this can help you start to use AI in your role. My challenge for you: think about the work you're already doing. Is there something that's taking you a lot of time, a project where you need some ideas to get started? Commit to experimenting with AI for something that will make a real difference to you and your work.